Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. And in today's Cephalabon contributor video, we're going to be taking a closer look at one of the two brand new releases by the brand Kajal. This fragrance is called Faris. I'm excited to tell you all about this fragrance as well as let you in on a special giveaway, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Faris by Kajal and I tell you all about this fragrance, the smell, the performance, the longevity, comparisons, and also let you know on what you can do in order to enter for a chance to win a full-size bottle, I do want to start things off by mentioning that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit that bell icon so you could be notified every time I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's episode. Now, of course, if you are interested in entering for your chance to win a bottle of this fragrance, there is a very special giveaway happening over at cephalabon.com. I am a contributor for Cephalabon. All you got to do is follow the first link down below in the description section. Make sure to read through the article, and once you become a registered reader, just leave a quality comment and you will be automatically entered to win. Good luck, everyone. Like I said, this is one of the two new fragrances by Kajal, and this is the more masculine lending one. Of course, there's another one that is a little bit on the fruitier side of things, but this one has a lot of citrus. There's lemon, there's orange, there's bergamot, there's clary sage, nutmeg, clove, there's lavender lending to that aromatic heart. And then there's also base ingredients of tonka bean and sandalwood and amber. There's a heart of rose. It can come across sometimes smelling a little bit tart because of the apple that's in the opening, but also a little bit warm and rich in the base on account of the tonka bean and the woodsy ingredients. And there's a lot happening in this fragrance. So I'm very excited to talk to you about the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So the opening of this fragrance is unquestionably fresh. It opens up super fresh and inviting, and it's a combination of citrus that you're going to get in here that makes it so acclimating and so vibrant and so bright. But that also adds to the versatility of the fragrance, which is a great thing. It just means that this possesses a DNA that is certainly going to be on the accessible side of things. And of course, in tandem with the citrus that you're going to get in here, most of which I think I'm getting a bit of orange and bergamot. I'm not getting that tart and sour lemon vibe that I'm getting from a lot of other fragrances. So this one is kind of on the nondescript but slightly warm side of things with the orange and the bergamot. But in tandem with the citrus, you're also going to get the lavender. Now, the lavender is adding to this masculine, refined, sophisticated, modern, and contemporary gentlemanly vibe. And so it adds a little bit of that sort of repose and that classy sophistication in the heart. And I gotta say, I'm not getting a whole lot of the rose. I think the rose is secondary to the lavender, but the lavender in here is very classy, very elegant and refined. And the clary sage is also used in a lot of modern men's fragrances. And so you see there's a little bit of an aromatic quality in here, in addition to some spices. I know clove is used in the fragrance, nutmeg is used in the fragrance. I'm not getting a whole lot of clove from this. Clove has a naturally occurring compound called eugenol, which can smell a little medicinal, especially if you have a background in dentistry, but it can also smell a little bit herbal and minty. And I'm not necessarily getting that from this fragrance. The nutmeg, I have smelled nutmeg being used in a lot of aquatic and oceanic fragrances. And because there is a fresh overtone to this fragrance, I'm inclined to say that I do actually pick up on the nutmeg much more so than any other spices used in here. But again, that comes after the lavender and citrus melange that you're going to get in the opening. Now, in terms of the base, I have to say there is something sweet that's kind of lingering throughout the fragrance, but it's very, very, very mild. Now, I know tonka bean is listed as a base ingredient, very convincing. I do believe that there's a nice bit of tonka bean in here, but not sweet to the point where it really stands out. I know there's also an apple ingredient that's used in the opening, and the freshness of the apple is perhaps enhanced by some of the sweeter, base ingredients, perhaps the tonka bean, maybe the amber, which is a combination of vanilla and a couple other resins. So there is a tiny, tiny bit of sweetness in here, but mostly what you're gonna get from this is a very modern, fresh, enthusiastic blend of lavender and citrus. And this is such a solid fragrance for the workplace if you work in an office environment, or generally speaking, if you work a lot, around other people. This is the type of fragrance that's not only going to get you noticed, but people will be inclined to ask you what you're wearing. And I suspect you're going to get a lot of unsolicited compliments because of how accommodating and how pleasant this fragrance smells. In terms of Kajal releases, I do own Kajal Homme, Kajal Homme 2, Dahab, and I have a few others as well. And let me tell you something, this is probably their biggest compliment getter to date. And I think this is going to be up there in terms of its compliment factor, along with fragrances like Percival by Parfums de Marly, Aventus by Creed, and perhaps even Dior Sauvage. Now, at the end of the day, this fragrance does do its own thing. I can see how it might remind some people of Percival on account of that fresh lavender quality and perhaps a little bit of the clove, although it's not very discernible. But at the end of the day, this fragrance is unique. It does do its own thing, and Kajal is very consistent with putting out quality fragrances, and that certainly applies to this release as well. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, here you're certainly looking at a unique fragrance that is very accessible and released in a very timely and well thought out manner, because I think this is going to be perfect for the hotter weather. In terms of the longevity, you can expect 8 hours on your skin. Projection was amazing for the first hour and a half of application. Versatility, it does lean a little bit masculine, but I think fragrance in general is unisex. Wear what you want, wear what makes you happy. I think this one is going to appeal to somebody who's a little bit younger, just on account of the lavender, the citrus, the clary sage, some of these more contemporary ingredients. And it perhaps lacks the mossy base that is found in a lot of, old school powerhouse fragrances. This one is great for a casual scenario as well as a formal scenario. So incredibly versatile in all regards. I just think it would shine the most in the hotter weather. So in the wintertime, you might want to wear maybe or 2, or even some of the other offerings from the Fida collection, as well as many of the other darker fragrances that Kajal has to offer. In terms of the presentation, I think it's beautiful, from the geometric shapes, the cap, the design on the box. I really do enjoy it. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are looking for the most complimented fragrance that the brand of Kajal has to offer, as much as I love Lamar, and Lamar has been one of my favorites for a long time now, I think this fragrance is really going to give everything else in the catalog a run for its money, but it's different. And so there's something for everyone from the brand of Kajal, and I do think that Faris is an amazing release, and I'm very privileged and fortunate to have this in my collection. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Once again, make sure to enter for your chance to win a bottle by visiting seflaban.com and leaving a comment on the article. Just follow the first link down below in the description and you'll be entered to win. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.